What's going on, guys? ZombifiedGamer here and welcome back to some more This Is the Police. Snowfall paralyses downtown traffic, elementary school breaks its only computer, and a dinosaur skull has been found in the city dump. And City Hall loves me now all of a sudden. Interesting. But the Mafia still hate me. Hopefully that means they'll actually give me officers now. It's time for a new car, mate.
Fuck my life.
I mean, you can afford a new car, to be fair. Got what, 90 grand or something? You can easily afford a new one.
I suppose Freeburg's mayoral election is just a play with a predictable ending. But I'll take my place on the stage, if only to show them that the people will find a way to support those who want change, even in a city where everything is controlled by a corrupt mayor. The crooks can falsify the voting results, they can arrest us and beat us, but they cannot silence us. And today, for the first time in many years, we have a chance to make them fear us.
While acknowledging that he himself is the mysterious Robespierre, Eugene Chaffee has also promised that he will accept any punishment for the crimes committed by him and his supporters for minor offenses and street hooliganism. But, in his words, not before the city authorities are held responsible for the dead in our streets and the millions they've stolen. Eugene Chaffee went on to say that this is the worst time.
So there's an election coming. Okay. And a bunch of people didn't come into work and you showed up drunk. But I can't send you home because that would mean I'll get arrested. I will promote Glenn. Because why not? I don't know why you're coming in drunk. I mean, you're pretty tired, so I'm assuming you was up all night. When did we get you? Who the fuck are you? I'm assuming Chin will die today. Let's just get on with the day. Well, this looks a bit different. Today marks the beginning of the great political struggle here in Freeburg. The people, including the cops, will have to decide who to support. Some will remain loyal to Mayor Rogers, but Robespierre already has a following of his own. Don't expect officers from both camps to work effectively together. If you send them out on an assignment, unfortunately, we can't ask our employees outright about their political views. But maybe there's another way you can get this information. So that's when it becomes important. Because up until now it's had the political views bit on their card and it always says unknown, and I've always wondered why that's there, because I never saw the point in it. But I guess it's for this. Very late into the game, but okay. And we got a new officer finally. And we'll get Mark because he's a very good one. We'll stick him on shift B. And we can also get 2 more people. I guess we'll just get Poots and Tony as well. I probably should have put more on shift A actually, looking at it now. Oh well, I can always move people around. Can I have another officer, please? A teenager walked into a furniture store and started complaining to the clerk that there were too many mirrors on the furniture. He was behaving very inappropriately, insisted on arguing, and finally lost his temper entirely. He pushed a woman over and started pounding on all the mirrors with his bare hands, screaming, "How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?" Starting to sound like Jaden Smith over there. Now just don't die, Chen, please. I know you're drunk and tired, just don't crash into a tree. I just needed you to show up to work so that I didn't get arrested. Okay, cool. Mrs. Anderson called in to complain about a suspicious man. He squeezed in beside me next to the yogurt and started acting very strange. I pushed him away and ran to the cashier and demanded the phone. Come arrest this scoundrel immediately. I mean, it sounds like he was just a pushy shopper rather than a suspicious individual, but sure. Oh god. A recent crime wave has the press talking, and all we can point to is a lot of crappy police work. Send one of your men to talk to the journalists. Tell them the rank and file officers assure the police of Freiburg that there's no need to worry. But I can't send anyone right now, so... The suspicious man was philosophy professor Mr. Zambezi, who had forgotten his glasses. He was only trying to make out the price tags on the yogurt. Okay, that's fair enough. And I won't be able to get to this other call because they're not going to be back in time, are they? Nope, 2 seconds too late. But it was real, whatever it was. But there's a hit and run. A truck with no license plates ran over an elderly man who was running across the road in the wrong place. The driver pulled back, stopped for a second, and then sped away at full speed. Off you go. Just don't die, Chin, please. That's all I'm hoping for today, is you just don't die. Okay, that was done perfectly as well, great. Now hopefully they'll get back in time for one of these. Providing that Chin doesn't die on the way back. And they won't, so I'm just going to have to let them go. And now they're back. Every time I send them out I'm going to have to worry about Chin because just look at that tiredness bar and the fact that she's drunk. We know what happens when people are like that. A zoo employee had a fight with her boyfriend and hit him on the head with a bowl. He was stunned for a while, and when he came to, he discovered an angry girl had locked him in a cage with a bear. As you do.
Looks like we have a situation here.
She's pounding a bowl on the bars of the cage, shouting, "Mishka, wake up and eat the bastard." Okay, how about we arrest the woman? She spots the police and swallows the keys to the cage. The bear is standing on its hind legs and approaching the guy. Okay, let's just shoot it then. Because you won't be able to calm it down and the taser's gonna do fuck all to a bear. So just kill the bastard. That worried me for a second, but we made it. Press-wise you'd probably get some shit because you killed a bear in a zoo, but if it had the option to tranquilise I would have gone with that. I don't have 6 officers, I only have 2, so I can't do that. The manager of the stadium reports that the football match has ended with a clash between the fans. The winners were taunting the rivals, and the losers didn't take it well. They started tearing up the arena and a small riot erupted. About 30 people are involved. Lovely. And I can't send them on that because there's not enough people, so that's a shame. Let's just stick this new detective on this case and see if that helps. Jack, your overall state of health is very worrying. You need to cut down your hours as soon as possible. Well, that's not very nice. I don't have a choice on that, so I'm assuming the game will just automatically reduce the amount of hours I work. No new frames. But in day 105, when I was arrested before, I was able to get the second frame for the abduction case, and managed to find out who the actual criminal was in that case, and it turned out to be the grandmother. So hopefully we can get her again. Let's make Glenn work the next shift. We can't do it with Chin because she's tired as fuck. I might promote her, because I know she came in drunk and everything, but it might give her the motivation to stop fucking around. Study, female brain no different from male. Mayor Rogers is displeased with the police department. Well, I'm displeased with him. He's a piece of shit. Mayor Rogers, I will bring order to the police station. You can try. All you got to do is give me the officers I keep requesting, and then we'll have more people. And now City Hall despises me again. Of course. That didn't last long, did it? Okay, I can't promote Chin because she's not here, so I'll have to do that on the next shift. So let's just move on. Well, this song's got a bit of a creepy undertone to it. And of course that's denied. Some ungrateful city residents, for the past several days, parked in reserved spaces in our parking lot. The police need to come down and fix the problem right now. Do you know what? Fuck you. Not interested. And I can't go to you because I don't have the people. So let's just do our best to actually answer the calls. Old friends Mr. Casey and Mr. Perilov were arguing about how to cook the best barbecue. In the end, Mr. Perilov grabbed the butcher's knife and stabbed Mr. Casey in the stomach. The man's wife phoned the police and she locked herself in her bedroom, fearing for her life. I mean, I can kind of get arguing about how to do the best barbecue if that's what you want to do, but it's a bit weird to randomly stab someone for it. And these officers are required for questioning, of course they are. Of course you're taking one of the people that are on shift now. You little bitch. But he still gets the rank up anyway, even though he's technically not there anymore. Well, I suppose they'll just go in question him when he gets back, I suppose. An inebriated man decided to teach his young son a lesson right there in the pizzeria. He pulled down the boy's pants and started spanking him with a pizza peel, shouting, "I told you not to slurp, and don't talk back, you bastard." Okay. Hopefully we can get back in time for that,
9/11 in progress.
because that's incredibly fucked. We're going to be cutting it close. This music though. There we go, just in time. Go get that prick. And we got him. Nice. Mrs. Hatch called to complain that the gifts department at the mall was selling counterfeit money, 50s and 100s, hanging right there in the window. What kind of world are we living in? I mean, it's probably fake money and being sold as such. That is an actual thing. Visitors to the Corn Monument got a surprise today. A naked woman walked up and began posing next to the monument. Several people tried to cover her with coats, but she shed them and then ran away from everyone, laughing loudly. The eyewitnesses who called it in said she was obviously under some kind of substance. Quite possible. Let's go get her. Let's go arrest the naked woman, I guess. The department was displaying gift cards designed to resemble dollars, but they were clearly marked not for legal tender. So yes, they were advertised as not real money. So that's fair enough. Oh god.
Looks like we have a situation here.
When she spotted the police, the naked woman ran up to the officer, kissed him on the lips, and then snatched his service weapon. Okay, how about we put her face in the dirt, take the weapon out of her hands.
214 complete.
Easy. I mean, some of these options are just obviously not. Well done, boys. I'm assuming they'll just wrap her up in something and then bring her in. No new frames. Marissa Brown reports that she heard several shots ring out from the nearby window following a man shouting "shut up" every night. The same thing, freaking junkies. Marissa explained that her neighbour is a former soldier who often quarrels with the young people, who spend evenings hanging out in the apartment courtyard. Okay. Almost missed this one. But we made it in time. And it's the last call of the day. Perfect.
510 complete.
And they let someone die. Terrible. But at least we got the shooter. But they didn't die at least. And we have 4 people for the next shift. Okay. Although Chin still looks tired. I can't order her to have a day off or something, which sucks. I'll just get both of those guys to work again on the next shift. Bodybuilding competition at the Sand Ice Arena. Corn Monument turns into a giant icicle, and Farmer confuses kite with UFO. And everyone hates me still. Perfect. Wolf didn't come in. Chin didn't come in. That's expected. Glenn didn't come in. Okay. I would have promoted Chin, but she didn't want to come in, so we have 5 people instead. I think I might just give the promotion to Mold instead. Maybe bringing her up will actually help with the abduction case, since she's the lead detective. That's still the same thing I don't care about. What are you? Mr. Boyd, please note that this information is highly classified. 6 months ago, terrorists simultaneously launched 3 satellites, which according to our intelligence, transmitted some kind of hypersensitive radiation waves designed to sap our willpower. We've quickly developed a cure, which should improve the mental strength of our citizens, especially our military and police forces. We are conducting clinical studies, and we need 4 of your employees to try out the latest version of the drug. Between us, these men are running a great risk because our experiments on rats were not entirely successful. But for $80,000, you'll be willing to take that chance, right? I suppose. I'll give it a go. And of course, child abuse comes in right now. And a carjacking. No, one of them died, really? Bastard. Chief, those pills they gave us were really strange, it's impossible to concentrate on anything, and my feet hurt really bad. Austin all of a sudden started throwing up, and then his skin got covered with blisters, and he dropped dead. Fucking hell. 80 grand for an officer. Basically. And you've also reduced the rank of my other ones. Fuck. Why'd you have to kill one of my officers with your drugs, you bastard? I can at least send them to this, now that they're back. I only sent Bologna on that one so he could get his professionalism back up since he's now down to 45. And nice, they did it. Two girls refused to compromise over the last pair of designer shoes and began to tear out each other's hair. The guard called the police and said he couldn't intervene. I'm still suffering injuries from the last time this happened. Okay. I'll just send everyone to that.
311A complete.
Perfect. I won't be able to get to the drug sales, but maybe the drug use if they're back in time. I won't be able to get to that anyway, okay. I suppose I'll just see what it says. An elderly man caught sight of a man using drugs. I saw him take a packet of white powder from his pocket, he sprinkled it on a donut, and ate it monstrously, right there in front of the children. I mean, I doubt that's drugs. It might just be, like, powdered sugar or something, since he's having it on a donut.
1111B complete.
The drug eater was a man who liked to put his own sugar on his donuts. My mum makes the best powdered sugar in the world, here, try some. So yeah, I was right. It's just powdered sugar. Because no one's going to whip out cocaine in the middle of a donut shop and eat it on a donut. That just doesn't happen.
1110 in progress.
We received an anonymous tip. A large shipment of contraband tobacco is being unloaded at the port. Okay, let's just go. Might be the last call of the day. And of course we've got no new frames.
1110 complete.
But we managed to do that successfully. Good. A local TV station is filming a story on how our utility companies paint over graffiti and the city's other efforts fighting for a good, clean Freiburg. We need a couple uniformed officers on the scene for the cameras. Send them now. How about no? I don't have anyone available. And there's the end of the day. Let's declare this guy dead. And we have one person for the next shift, so I'm going to have to put Fispatch and Percy on there. What's going on? Why is there a guy with a gun? Oh, it's you.
My God, Mr. Boyd, there's no tea in the whole house. We've looked everywhere. I could bring you a nice box of Japanese tea. I think you'd fall in love.
Let's get this over with. The people on the street are freezing by now.
Oh, yes, I do apologize for the ill-mannered crowd. A man in my position deals with a lot of unpleasantness.
Mr. Boyd, don't you wonder why Mayor Rogers so easily gave you your job back?
I promised the doctors I'd think less.
Funny. The people of this city are in the opposite situation. They've begun to use their heads for the first time in many years. They've learned to argue, but of course they can't agree on anything. Does Freiburg need change? Should the old guard give way to a new generation of politicians? Would I make a good mayor? Was Stuart Rogers a bad mayor? All these arguments reek of naivete, but let's be charitable. Many of them are allowing themselves to doubt for the first time. What's important is this. In times when the people cannot reach an accord, what they need is something to unite them. And one of those things is their undying love for their chief of police. People can support me or hate me, can defend Rogers or demand his resignation, but they remain sure of one thing. Their police chief is a saint. Their police chief won't let the city fall to chaos. And despite everything, the events of recent months have only improved your reputation, Mr. Boyd. The people have been touched by your recovery from that coma, your eagerness to return again and again to your post, to serve the city. And of course, Stuart Rogers, whose position is seriously shaken, wishes to take advantage of you.
Rogers understands that he won't survive this fight. He just wasn't prepared for it. So he's planned a major security operation. He intends to storm Eugene's house, burn everything to the ground so the pillar of smoke can be seen from anywhere in the city. He wants you to personally lead the assault. He'll tell the reporters that Eugene Chaffee was behind a series of terrorist attacks across the city. When he offered armed resistance during his arrest, Eugene was shot and killed.
What are you gonna do about it?
What should I do? Respond in kind, of course.
What, you're gonna storm City Hall?
Don't have the stomach for it, Mr. Boyd? You do understand what my gratitude would mean. Enough money to last you the rest of your life.
My job. I want to keep my job. Not 1 year, not 5 years, but until I decide it's time to leave.
I told you, Eugene, he's no longer interested in money.
Oh, I'll take the money, too. It'll be nice to get a bonus when you extend my contract.
You ask for too much, Mr. Boyd.
Oh, really?
I think it's perfectly reasonable, actually.
I'll visit you in a few days, Mr. Boyd. Gather your strength. You forgot them in my car the last time we met.
Thanks, but I gave 'em up. Might add a few years to my life.
Can't exactly remember what they are.
And one more thing. I wanted you to hear this from me, not the newspapers. Consider it a gift.
What is it? I think the box was just cigars there, right? But I want to know what's on that paper. Oh, interesting. Day 159. Well then, I'm going to leave this episode here. Leave a like and enjoy watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and goodbye.
I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me. Yeah, who do you, bitch?